This should have me on YouTube, and I should be on Facebook. Everything's looking good here. Hey, JR Cook here, and I did this a couple of years ago. I went through the Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't heard of that book, it's basically on the principles of success. Um, and I heard that there's a much better book, and it's called The Law of Success in 15 Lessons. And so I've decided to read that book. I'm going to go through it and analyze it for the next 15 days, not including today. Today was just the introduction. And so I went through it, and I'm just going to kind of summarize what I'm going to be going over. I have, I'm looking back and forth here because I have YouTube Live over here, and then I have Facebook Live over here. So I want to create this as an analysis, but also as a course at the same time. That way people can utilize these principles, because I realize that my audience, a lot of them have not been exposed to this kind of material before. And so that's what I want to be able to give a very user-friendly overview and see if it can inspire some people to maybe use some of this information to dramatically alter the course of their life. And so today I went over and I was reading it, and so for the next 15 days, these are the topics that are going to be covered in this book. And I'm already way more excited about this than I was Think and Grow Rich. Honestly, Think and Grow Rich, it's very sensationalized, and a lot of people attribute their success to that book, and Napoleon Hill in general. And this book is by Napoleon Hill as well. It actually predates Think and Grow Rich, if you haven't heard of it. And it got pulled from the shelves. It's kind of mysterious how that happened. Some people say that it was too good, and many of the titans of the day, back from the teens and 20s, were kind of upset at the principles that were being shared within this course. So here it is. It's time. The Law of Success in 15 Lessons. So the things that we're going to go over, and the things that the author, Napoleon Hill, promises will be delivered into the hearts, minds, and souls of those who read it earnestly. In fact, I'm so earnest that I've decided to teach all of the material as I go through it. I think that a lot of these things are things that I've been exposed to before, but I want to do it in the systematic approach that Napoleon teaches. And also, I think that it's going to be beneficial for, obviously, the people who I'm able to, expose this information to, but also myself, to be able to compile it into a way that is like a course. I've been creating these courses here recently, and it's something that I can grow in. And so this is for me, and it's for you. And so let's go at this together. So here is what this course is going to deliver to you. Okay. The first thing it's going to deliver is it's going to deliver self-confidence, self-belief, and self-love. And what this does is it gives you the ability to stand up and be bold, which is absolutely essential if you want anyone to take you seriously in life. And getting taken seriously is absolutely essential if you want success in life. So self-confidence is key, and that's the first thing that he mentioned, and that is awesome. And the second thing that we're going to talk about in this course is the habit of saving. Now, this is something that's really interesting, and it's a little bit counterintuitive, because people don't think that saving necessarily makes them make more money. But when you start learning about investing and things, and there's a great book on this, in fact, called The Richest Man in Babylon, and it's really short. It's like 60, 70 pages, kind of like Stop Procrastinating, Start Living, which I highly recommend to everybody too, by the way. But saving 10%, giving away a part of your money, there are psychological reasons, and then there are also spiritual reasons that not only Napoleon talks about, but so many really, really successful people talk about the gift of giving and how, you in religions even talk about it, you tithe and all of that. It's a powerful principle. Anyway, so I'm going to cover that. Um, Initiative and leadership. And this has been something I've been working on here recently anyway, because I'm going through this 100-day challenge right now. And it talks a lot about, making them compete with you and following forward that way. So I'm looking forward to that, and be what the competition fears and lead my team to victory. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also going to touch on the topic of imagination. And that's a great thing. I love imagination. I love it. But the thing is mine is always just been kind of, it does what it wants. I've always just let my imagination do what it wants. And I've allowed myself to be inspired in key moments. And in fact, when I was reading on the topic of imagination before from Napoleon Hill, I was kind of turned off by it, and I didn't really apply myself because I'm like, ooh, I think it was my ego, my pride was kind of coming out with it. But because I didn't listen. And now I think maybe I've bumped my head enough times to gain a little bit of wisdom and say, you know what, if I can have a systematic approach to inspire inspiration in my life, then this would be massively beneficial in my life. And so I'm going to talk on the topic of imagination. We're going to go into enthusiasm, because if you want to be successful, enthusiasm is essential, because enthusiasm pulls people in. It makes them care about your topic. It makes them passionate with you. And with enthusiasm, you can get other people enthusiastic. And that's one of the main things when trying to do anything, when trying to leverage anything, and people especially, because it's contagious. So, I'm going to talk about enthusiasm. I'm going to talk about self-control. Because if you're so enthusiastic, you have to have some control behind it, and to use that enthusiasm selectively and be able to control it. And so we're going to talk about self-control as well. Next principle we're going to talk about, and these are all days, is doing more than I am paid for. Now, this video, I'm not getting paid for it. And I try to embody this principle with everything that I do. I really do. That book that I came out with, I mean, I don't see anybody else in my field giving out free video courses with the book. And that's the whole reason why I have that video course as well, is because I want to deliver more value than anyone else. I don't even want it to be close. I want to deliver so much value to every customer. They are just glad. They think, it just seems like such a great deal. How are you going to get a better deal than that? And that's what I want to deliver to my customers, or my clients, as I like to look at them. And so that's a principle that we're going to talk about in one of these days. Having a pleasing personality. And this is just being soothing. It's being somebody that people want to watch. People want to be around you because you make them feel good. You contribute to their lives. The things that you say makes them feel inspired. They feel loved when they're with you. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I think that I'm okay at that, but it's definitely, all of these things are definitely topics that I want to improve upon. And so we're going to talk about having a pleasing personality. We're going to talk about having accurate thinking. Now, what accurate thinking is it's the ability to take information and sort out the opinion from the fact, and then prioritize the fact between important and unimportant. And then using that important information to create a solid plan to move forward to take you anywhere you want to go in life. And so this is a really important day. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's going to be great. Next one is concentration. And concentration has many different definitions, but Napoleon Hill's definition here, and the strategy that he teaches in this chapter, according to the introduction anyway, is that the ability to focus on one thing till completion. And that actually has me thinking a little bit differently with my 100-day challenge, because right now I have 3 goals. And I'm thinking that honestly, it's kind of diluting my focus. So I'm considering going down to 2 goals. And in fact, I might even go down to 1. Or I might refine them because they're all kind of having to do with the same kind of spectrum, which is increase my audience, publish more books, and then do coaching as well. And so more coaching. But anyway, I won't bore you guys with that. So looking forward to that one. That one's going to be great. Cooperation. And this is the ability to get people to act together harmoniously and get them to cooperate with one another and with yourself or myself. And that is a essential tool, because all life really is cooperation. I mean, if you look at the systems of society, if you look at any stoplight, we're all cooperating. We're all agree, I'm going to stop it. You're going to go at the green light. We all have all these rules we're playing by. We all pretend like these pieces of paper are actually worth something. I mean, like if this isn't worth anything in the US, you can't even see it because the light's too bright. But it's definitely worth something here. And it's really interesting to me, cooperation. And I mean, cooperation is even employing people or working for someone. We're all cooperating together to get the job done. And that's a really interesting concept. And I look forward to digging deep into that principle. Profiting by failure. This is using your failures as stepping stones towards success. And I usually don't use the word failure. I use the word lessons, because I believe that a failure is only a failure if we fail to learn a lesson from it. And so I look forward to definitely digging deep into this one. I think that it's going to be great. In fact, it's going to get me to this is something that I learned a long time ago, but it's going to be great to revisit the topic, because I know that I'm going to see things from a different perspective now and be able to provide fresh insights, not only to myself, but to you guys as well. And so the next one is tolerance. And basically, it's about avoiding racial and today I'll say political prejudice. It's the ability to avoid arguments, because when we get pulled into arguments, it steals our power, it steals our progress. It definitely harms us. And we don't want to get pulled into things that make us smaller. We don't want anger in our heart. We don't want to be a part of the problem. We want to be a part of the solution. And it's impossible to do that if we're stuck bickering. And so that's going to be a great thing to talk about. I'm sure that that one will be, if I actually have any viewers by that time, I think that one will be slightly provocative. The last one is practicing the golden rule. And honestly, I think that I'm going to enjoy this one probably the most. This is probably the one that I know the least about right now, at least in this term. I might define this differently, but honestly, I don't even know what to say. The only thing that I was able to pull from the introduction with this, I just wrote down attractive human conduct. And so I guess he's probably going to go into the law of attraction or something like that. I'm not sure. We're going to talk about power, natural physical power, and the ability to organize information. So you've always heard knowledge is power. Well, knowledge is more important than physical power, because it's the ability to actually leverage physical power. I mean, it'd be hard to build a diesel truck without the knowledge of how to build a diesel truck. And so we have this powerful device that we're able to create utilizing natural law, but we're only able to harness that natural law by our understanding of it and by our knowledge of it and utilizing that. And so that's what that whole thing's about. I'm looking forward to that one too. I think that one's going to be very pertinent in my life and hopefully yours too. And then he just goes into a lot of like talking about physics. I think that he was trying to establish the fact that he's an intelligent human being. To be honest with you, he seemed like he was kind of probing the topic of significance. And there were a few things he was writing about in the chapter, like, I'm not writing this to entertain, yada, yada. It seemed like he was writing a lot of this stuff because he was slightly self-conscious about the book that he was writing. And I could be wrong, but then he wrote something great here. And it said, this isn't exactly his words, but this is the way I interpreted it. The kite of success rises against the winds of adversity, not with them. So if you sway to adversity on your rise to success, then your kite won't rise. You have to continue against the adversity until you've reached success. And so this has been J.R. Cook. I look forward to reading the next chapter, of course, tomorrow, and then analyzing it after I've synthesized my own thoughts, or analyzing it, synthesizing, and then sharing and teaching. So hope to see you there tomorrow, and I'll leave all these videos up. I'm going to kind of compile them into courses somehow, some way. I don't know how I'm going to do it on Facebook. I think it'll be easier on YouTube, but I'll figure it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.